When you first open the box, what you found are these two cases, just like this. They look almost identical. Now, taking a close look at the case, it's compact and rugged, and it's made from like this durable neoprene type rubber material. So it can stand to drops, scuffs, and scrapes, so it always will look good. Now, a lot of YouTubers talk about the case being too big, or that they included a second case for the accessories. But take a look at this.
So let's take a look at how much these cases weigh. First, let's take a look at the case with the equipment inside. And if you place it on a scale, it is 10.8 ounces. 10.8 ounces. Okay. Now look at this one. This is the case with the accessories. Let me move it back so you can see a little better. That is 4.7 ounces. So let's put them together. Both together, we get 15.5. Let's see. Yep, 15.5 ounces. That's not heavy at all. If you can't carry 15 ounces, that's crazy.
It's not all that big and it's not all that heavy. And for beginners, you know what? You're going to be either in your studio where the size of the case doesn't really matter, or if you're going out to shoot in the world, you're going to have a bag with you anyway. So why not have it to carry all of your things? Okay, look at that. It's a zipper. The zipper on this thing is amazing. I actually love that because most of the other cases, either they fit with a clamp or hook and they're made out of some hard plastic, or they don't have anything. Now, what is cool about the zipper? I'm gonna tell you why you're gonna like this. Because the problem that I had with my other wireless mic, let me show you. So this is the Fulham X5, and take a look at this. And it's just, it opens and shuts. So if you were to drop this, everything would go spilling out all over the place. But with this, with a zipper, yeah, look, it doesn't go anywhere, not at all. It keeps track of everything. But the zipper case definitely earns top marks from me. Okay, so let's take a look at the case itself. And on the exterior of the charging case, of course, you can tell the difference between the two because one is significantly heavier than the other one, although they look the same. And the charging case is branded with the Rode Wireless Pro logo on the front. So let's take a look at that right there. Versus the other one has nothing. So that's how you can tell the difference. You're not going to get mixed up. The charging case is also different because it has some buttons on it and some LEDs. So if you take a look at this, on the back of this, there it is. All right, you see the USB-C connection for charging and data transfer, an LED light to show how much power is left in the case, and a button for turning the case on and off for charging. And it feels like it's some plastic frame or something hard inside, because although this looks like something that would be malleable, it's actually very sturdy and doesn't bend at all. If I push hard as I can, it doesn't move at all. I mean, this is sturdy. So let's take a look at the inside of the case. So this case has dedicated compartments for each component, 2 transmitters, 1 receiver. And if you take out each component, you'll look inside and see a TX and an RX. TX is for transmitter, RX is for receiver, and it's important to put these in the right place. Now, will they fit in the other place? Yes. And they should still charge. But for data transfer, you want to put them in the right compartment. Now, these components that fit in this case are snugly inside. It's not a problem. They won't fall out. Again, that's the problem I had with that other system. Anytime I dropped this and it just flipped open, look how easy this is to come out. Things would scatter everywhere and I would lose everything. I didn't like that. But this is in there. So if you take a look at this, watch, I'm turning this upside down. And it's here, you see? I'm gonna shake it with all my might. And it's not budging, it's not coming out. Now, I don't know how it's held in there, if the USB connection holds it in there or if by friction. And I'm not sure if over time that's gonna make a difference. As you start to film more outdoors and in different locations, having a sturdy case that won't lose all of your materials is important. The accessories case is much the same, but it's a little more flimsy. So if I squeeze on this one, of course it has some give in it when you open it. Of course, it has the zipper like before, and you're greeted to a compartment inside. So take a look at that. You can put your lavalier mics and whatever cables in there. It has a part that flips up that has netting on both sides, so that way you can hold all of the spare things what you need in here, and the dead cats and lavalier mics are down there. These are the included cables, but we'll talk about all of that later. So for me, I really like these cases. They're going to prove very useful for me. Very useful. I'll be able to store all of the materials and carry them with me in my bag and not worry about them accidentally coming out or having to dig through the bottom of my bag once they do. The first question is exactly how much power does this thing have? So the charging case provides enough power for up to 3 additional charges for all the components inside. So the receivers and the transmitters each have a battery that will last about 8 hours. The charging case can charge that up 3 more times. So you get a total of 32 hours of charging capability of battery. You get 32 hours of battery. It has a built-in USB-C port for charging the case itself using a power source. Now it's a 5-watt cable that's included for charging and data transfer. And it's a high quality cable, but it is rather short. And it needs to be short for the quick data transfer. As a matter of fact, I'll show you this, and it is much thicker than the other cable that's included in the package. So let me grab that. These cables are meant to connect to smartphones. So you have one with USB-C to USB-C, and then the other is a USB-C to Lightning cable. So by comparison, look at these. So you can see that the ones that connect to the phone are a lot thinner, and the one that's connecting to the charging case is a lot thicker. So it's definitely made for data and charging. 5 watts, the case could charge rather quickly. So each mic set comes with 3 main body parts, 2 transmitters, 1 receiver. If you don't know what that means, don't worry, I'll let you know. Transmitters means that it sends the data, sends the signal. The receiver, of course, like the name says, it receives it. And then you can either pipe it into your camera or to whatever recording device that you have. So let's take a look at the transmitter itself. So here are the parts. Number 1, the integrated microphone. So what the integrated microphone does is allows you to capture the audio without needing a separate lavalier mic, which is convenient for quick recordings or situations where using a lavalier is not practical. Like if you need to run and gun and do it quickly, you can just clip this on and it will record everything. Now, the microphone itself is an omnidirectional condenser mic. Okay, let me explain what that means just in case you don't know. Omnidirectional means that it picks up sound from all around in a sphere, all around. So this transmitter can easily attach to your clothing. It has a little clip like this, see? And you just squeeze it and you clip it. And it can clip easily to your shirt or wherever you want to clip it at. The clip itself is pretty sturdy. It's kind of hard to push, but I like that. That means it won't get loose. Included with it is this metal and magnet backing type thing. You just slide it onto the clip and now it has a magnet. So instead of clipping it onto a shirt, you can use the attached magnet to put on the other side of the clothing and then attach the transmitter. Now the receiver does not have a magnetic clip like the transmitters do, but it's made to slide into the hot shoe mount on your camera, or you can clip it to something. It has a LED display and it displays the battery life, the signal strength, the audio level, and then it can do other settings, so it's easy to see. Now, one thing that I noticed from my research, that a lot of YouTubers complained about the location of the screen. Now the DJI model has a screen at the front. It's shaped like an old school beeper, so when you put it on your camera, you can see it from the front, and it has a touch screen. This one is more from the top once you put it on there. And I think it's like that because people who film other people are behind the camera and they can look down on it and see. But even using the Road Central app, you'll be able to see what everything is. The receiver has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. which is awesome, because what does that do? That allows you to use that to plug it directly into your camera. That way you get sound from the microphone baked directly into your video. And then you don't have to do any syncing in post-processing or nothing like that. But for me, I like doing mine in post-processing because I just do. And just like before, the transmitter, let's see if I can get it to do it. There you go. It has a USB-C connection for the signal and for charging. And then there's the headphone jack. Now let's talk some about these lavalier microphones. All I got to say is Kevlar. Yeah, like bulletproof vest kind of stuff. Check this out. Cable contains Kevlar and has potential and risk of causing lacerations and or strangulation. Avoid looping the cable around the neck and keep out of reach of children. So what Rode did is include a couple lavalier mics along with the Rode Wireless Pro. These mics usually retail for $99 each and you get 2 of them. So let me tell you a little bit about them. It picks up sound from all around. So this is the mic, right? Take a look at this. And it picks up sound from everywhere, on the top, bottom, both sides, front and back. And it's condenser mic. In a nutshell, condenser mics have a little more detailed sound and a wider range of sound. And they usually require some sort of power source, like some sort of phantom power. So the transmitters could possibly be supplying these with a little bit of power in order to make the condenser mic work. So let's take a closer look at this. Look how big this is. Very small, very small. I, for one, love the lavalier mic. That's how I got my start. And I don't like for stuff to be out. I like for things to be hidden. And with this, it's easier to hide than this. Let me show you. It's easier to hide than this. See, that's a big size difference. There it is, big size difference. You can imagine this in the middle of the shirt versus this, very small. I, for one, I can't stand it. I want everything hidden. What's cool about these microphones? Well, it includes a locking mechanism so it won't pull out. Now, if you've ever recorded anything, or if you will record anything and use a lavalier, there's always a chance that the person is going to move around, or you might move around, and you will pull it right out of the connector and all of your sound is lost. Everything is gone. That is one of those old crap moments. You don't want that. So this has a locking mechanism. Let me show you how it works. So basically, this end of the lavalier, let's see, focus in, there you go. So this end has a locking end, and that fits right into this tip right here. So first thing you want to do is you go ahead and stick it in there. And then, now here's the mistake. I saw one YouTuber talk about this, and he said that the lavalier still pulled out. Thing is, you spin this, you can spin, let me show you, get a closer look. So you can spin this, but you see how that moves down the pole and it comes off. I actually have extra ones of these, but you put them on and you spin it and you lock it onto here first, right? And if you notice, I can't get it. Okay, there it is. You lock it onto here first, right? You have that. Now you notice how the end, it has like, there's one end, there it is. There's one end, it's like a little collar. That's the end that you want to stick in here. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. Now what you want to do from here is not spin this, but spin the transmitter. Spin the transmitter until it locks. Push in a little bit, spin that transmitter. So spin the transmitter till it locks. And look, it won't fall. So that's how you do the locking thing for the lavalier. Now it does come with a set of alligator clips, and most reviewers, they see the clip, and universally I've heard that the clips are horrible. They don't like them. One YouTuber said that they put a lot of time and effort into the construction of the Wireless Pro, but not the alligator clip. They probably wanted something that was metal or something like that. For me, as long as I can order more or a different kind of clip to hold this, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I've had to deal with broken alligator clips before. One of the accessories that Rode thought to include with this are these dead cats or windscreens. I mean, they call them dead cats because when you look at them, it look like a dead cat. All it is just a furry windscreen with some foam on the inside. And the purpose of it is to break up the wind so it doesn't get through to the capsule of the microphone. So you don't hear all that wind noise, and they can definitely block it. Now these, Rode included 5 of these. They have different, I guess, connectors, 2 for the lavalier and 3 for the transmitters. So let me show you. You notice this one? So you can kind of see it's like a rectangle shape. That's made to fit right on top of the lavalier mic. So let me show you. So here, you see our lavalier, and it has that same rectangle shape. And look, it just goes right in there. Bam, and it's there. Just got to make sure to know what side is the front and the back, because the microphone, again, look, it has a front with the speaker grate on it, and then it has a back without. So just make sure you know which side is which. Now the next one is for the transmitter. And again, it has this circular locking piece. You can probably see it right there. It locks right on. So let me show you how that works. Now, if you look at this, the microphone is there. You see the grate, and it has a little circular thing around it, and you can see the instructions. Oh, hold on. See the instructions that tell you which way to turn it. So what you want to do is line the notches up, twist it, and it's on there, and it doesn't come off. So it's a locking mechanism. Now, my advice, all right, some people, they leave these things on all the time, 24/7. They're in the studio and they have a windscreen on with no wind. To me, I think it's unsightly, gangly, all of the negative adjectives. This takes away from what you're doing. So just use it when you're in windy situations. You don't have to use it all the time. Also included with the kit is the 3.5 TRS cable, and it's red, you know, the usual Rode red cable, made for plugging in the cameras, smartphones, things like that. So my kit came with some spare O-rings for the lavalier mic. Most people, the reviews that I watched, they had like colored clips to tell the lavs apart from each other. Well, mine came with extra locking rings, which I think that's more functional over form, because I can always put a piece of colored tape or something on it, but more than likely I won't. So that even works better. And I showed you how to keep from losing them, and keep from having the lavalier being unplugged from the microphone. If you don't know about that, just rewind a little bit and you'll get right there to it. So here is the part that you've been waiting for. Now, each transmitter has 32 gigabytes worth of memory on board. So you can just record and record and record a spoken file. A file with just voice is not that big. You're not going to get like a whole gigabyte out of that. It's going to be severely less, even for what the recording you're doing. But let me explain 32-bit float recording, at least how I understand it to be. So with this, it's only available when you record internally. So if you're beaming this right to your camera, you're not going to get 32 float. You're just not. But what is it? So it's a recording format, and it catches, think of it like, I guess the microphone can record everything, all the sounds. So that way, when you go to post-process it and the sound's not right, you can bring the sound down because they got all the sounds up here, or you can bring them up because they got them all down here. So yeah, 32-bit float would have saved me, because when my sound was clipping, which clipping is like a distorted sound, you know, like at high school football games, when the announcer is calling out the names and he's all excited and there's like that distorted sound over the loudspeaker. Yeah, that's clipping. So I was getting that on every video I did. But if I had 32-bit float, All I would have had to do is bring that level right on down. No problem. The magnet's really strong on this. See, I had, and oh my gosh, they're really strong. One thing I do have to say, I absolutely love magnets. I love them because with this one, this came with it. I wish that the clip on the back was metal, but it's plastic. And I mean, it's not going to break or anything, but it's this metal sheath that goes on top of it and you just slide it on and this magnet is there. So take a look at this. Has the road branding on it and it's about that big. It has a little road O there and on the other side, just the O. So it has the road O on it. This is about maybe an inch long and it sticks right to the back. And to me, I think it's a very strong magnet. So it could attach itself through rather thick clothing. I don't know how thick, like if you want to wear a bubble jacket or a winter coat, of course, I don't think it'll work doing that, but who knows, have to try it. But that's why you have the clips. Or you can use a lavalier and clip it somewhere else and then run the mic up to where you want it to be. But magnets are it. I wish everything came with magnets to attach. That's one of my favorite things. All right, let's talk battery life. So as I said earlier, each receiver can get up to 8 hours of usage. Each transmitter can do 8 hours of usage also. And the charging case can recharge each thing individually up to 3 times. So that's 32 hours of usage on one go, one charge. Can't beat that. Of course, internally, the storage options are astronomical. 32 gigabytes of internal recording. Can't go wrong with that. You'll never fill it up. It'll take you time and time again. If you're a beginning content creator, you may only do short clips, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. But if you're doing something like, I don't know, an all-day wedding or something like that, then you could possibly fill it up, but 32 gigabytes is a lot. So let's wrap this up. Now, why should you check out the Rode Wireless Pro? I mean, it's versatile. So if you're a beginner, you can use it on everything. You can plug it in with the supplied cables to your camera. You can use it on your smartphone. You can use it by itself. It's highly versatile and it's really easy to use. Unzip the case, pull the receiver and transmitter out. They pair automatically and then you can just use it. So it's no hard learning curve or anything like that. It has the Rode Central app. So the app allows you to unlock all of the additional features like gain control and controlling what the buttons do on each one. Now, I'm not a big fan of using apps for everything. I kind of would like buttons and a remote control, but in this case, it's not so bad because the charging case can connect to your phone as well as your computer. So it's easy to do stuff on the road. Now, here's some advanced things that this microphone system does. So it has internal recording and it has a safety track. So what a safety track is that one side would be recorded at a regular gain level. The second side will probably be about 10 to 12 decibels lower. So that way, if one side is destroyed too high, you can always use the other side. But 32-bit float kind of gets rid of that. So, but it's there. Gain control. Gain control is a big one. So this system will adjust its gain accordingly, depending on what's going on around you and outside. Now, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing because the other microphones offer noise reduction. And y'all, it's for the birds. It's for the birds. When you turn it on, it's like the more noisy it is, it over-processes and then everything sounds robotic. So you might as well not do it. Just do it in post-processing. That's the best thing to do. Now, let's have a real conversation. This is important. Price. Now, earlier I was complaining about Best Buy. The Rode Wireless Pro is listed for $399. I found it on Amazon for $373. I went there and asked could they price match. They told me no. So I ordered it from Amazon. Even used, the price was about $350. So to get a quality mic like this is going to cost. That is expensive. Now, one thing you could do is something like this, the Fulham X5. I think I paid $100 for this, and this performed very well. And I think it was good for me to learn about wireless mics, how to position them, how they work, all of that. And until I outgrew it, it was wonderful. And as a matter of fact, I'm still going to use it. When I go out and do my vlogs and things like that, I just use that because this fits right in my bag. But there are alternatives. The DJI mic is one. Almost the same price, same performance, just about. They say the Rode is a little better. I won't know until I do my test. So that may be something to look into. So I'm not going to shill from one product or the other, but I'll just say this. If you're in the market for a wireless microphone, buy what's within your budget. If it's something like one of those clone microphones, like the Fulham X5, I call it a clone because they all look like this and they have a yellow inside. They're clones. They just have a different name on it, like Newer or something like that. If that's in your budget, hey, buy that and use it and practice and learn it. If something like this is in your budget, then hey, get it. But by all means, use a microphone.